I'd like to call the Village of North Fond du Lac Board of Trustees meeting to order Monday, June 29th. Due to the state of emergency related to COVID-19, the village will have limited seating in the board meeting. In addition to the board meeting being available on cable 980, you are also able to dial in and listen or speak through the phone. If you would like to call in, please dial 920-322-6120 between 5:45 and 5:55 on the day of the meeting. Audience members are requested to sign in on the sheet provided at the registration table. Citizens wishing to be heard on topics not listed on the agenda may speak under item C. Citizens may be given an opportunity to speak during discussion of items listed on the agenda and are allowed 3 minutes for comments. Disruptive discussion or profanity will not be allowed. Roll call of officers.
Duffy.
Here.
Horning.
Here.
Streeter.
Here.
Price.
Here.
Will.
Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Citizen participation. Citizens are to address the board only. Statements are limited to 3 minutes. The board may not respond to items not listed in the agenda. However, you may speak for an item to be placed on future agendas. Is there anybody who want to speak under citizens to be heard that isn't on the agenda? All right, seeing none. Announcements. Darren Parsons, just step up front, please. Or the speaker, you think, or?
It'll be fine. Just do it in the middle there.
I'd shake your hand, but with the COVID stuff going on. This certificate of appreciation awarded Darren Parsons with sincere appreciation for 30 years of service to the village of North Fond du Lac, awarded this 18th day of June 2020. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. And number 2, Dave Goldovsky, please, if you could come up.
Hey, Mike,
Again, so I can't shake your hand, but
I'll give you we're fine.
the Village of North Fond du Lac presents to Dave Goldovsky. The North Fond du Lac Village would like to congratulate you on your retirement and thank you for your dedication and commitment for your 30 years of service.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's always been great what you do, Rich. I mean, it's a great, great place to work. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Very much so. I appreciate everybody, every taxpayer out here. It was a lot of fun. I still got mixed emotions about it. I really do. I know it's probably.
You get
something
used to it.
weird.
You get used to it.
We got it. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Darren, also. Appreciate you guys. Years of service in all the years, and wish you a happy retirement, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, moving down to administrator under President's business and staff reports.
Thank you. Absentee ballots went out last week. I think 480 or so went out in the mail. A lot of those are requested for the whole year from the spring election. There's not much on this ballot. If you do have one or have questions, there's a pretty good explanation on the upper right of the ballot. That is, I don't even know the date off the top of my head, August, second Tuesday in August. That's still, you're still able to absentee vote at some point in our office here. Those are the ones that went out in the mail. You can request an absentee ballot online. Excuse me. We opened the office a couple weeks ago on a limited basis. We're asking people that are wanting to enter the office to ring the intercom and talk to us first, because a lot of the things that people want to do, they do not have to enter the building for. And it's been working very well. We are having visitors come in that need to come in, but it's on a limited basis. I would say on average, we're probably only seeing 5 people a day coming in the office. And we do have the service windows now, so residents don't have to interact with staff, so to speak, face to face. So that's working quite well. I haven't had any complaints from anyone so far. So we'll continue to monitor that and continue to do it that way for the foreseeable future. The budget's right around the corner. It seems like we always get done with the budget, and the budget's right back at where we're at with it. As we've done in the past, August will be probably when the board will see the 5-year CIP, followed by several meetings of department heads presenting their budgets, and of course adoption is always in November. So staff is just starting to touch the surface on the budget right now. I'm kind of preparing a lot of the documents and getting that ready to go so staff can work on their budgets.
Nick, may I ask on the budget, what kind of direction have you given staff
knowing the circumstances and what we're looking at.
We haven't got real in-depth into that as far as where we're at with the staff. What we've done in the last several years of the budget is, I shouldn't say several, last few years of budgeting is the direction the staff has is put together a budget that provides the same level of service that you're providing right now. And at the point where we want to change the level of service that we're providing, that's something that the board needs to discuss. When we get into the budget, I'll explain a little bit more, but we're really not looking at numbers right away. We kind of are, but we're not looking at the numbers as much right away. We're looking at the level of service. When we get to closer to approval, we start looking at the numbers and see where we're at. So I have given them direction though, with the COVID situation and possible some loss of revenue, to not spend anything this year that's really unnecessary, to just kind of keep an eye on that. And along with looking forward to next year, there's been a few items already that we've kind of looked forward to and said, maybe we can hold off on those. So yeah, there's been some direction that way.
Thank you.
Yep. Speaking of the COVID, there are a couple grants out there that are available to us. One of them that we're working on right now was specifically related to elections and extra costs related to the elections, and that is for the April election, August election, and November election. We're allotted about $3,000 as the village here. It's based on your registered voter number. So I think we'll easily hit that mark with our expenses, extra expenses for even just the April election. So working on that, there's also one that's the larger one that if you recall, there was a $200 million grant provided by the state that I talked about that before. We're allotted $84,000 for that one, which I don't think we'll probably get to, but we're working on both of those. I don't know that, Darren, did you want to report on anything? I'm sorry to put you on the spot. You're good. Okay, and then the only other maybe thing I'll mention for Darren, he doesn't have a microphone, but the consumer confidence report, if you recall in the past, we've always mailed that out with the water bills. That's based on our water utility. It's a consumer confidence report. It has a bunch of numerical values and gives a lot of information about, we have to provide it every year through the mail. They just changed their internal, I guess, rules, and we're able to now provide that via internet. So on the water bill this time, for the quarterly bill going out in July, it'll actually just be a link you'll be able to type into your computer and go to, which will save us quite a bit in postage, and it's just kind of a process of getting all that stuffed into an envelope. So this is a better process. So that's all I really have.
Nick, just a follow-up question on the grant, the $84,000.
Yeah.
If we don't meet that, we don't get any, or can we
No,
get part of it?
we can
go up to that amount.
Up to it, yep.
Okay.
So as long as there's a lot of, details still need to be looked at as far as what are allowable costs. And we'll definitely kind of go through all that and put in whatever we can. But yes, if we have $5,000 of allowable costs, we get $5,000.
Perfect. Thank you.
Our limit is 84. Yep. And each community has their own limit. The calculation was done for us. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Nick, in the next Villager, are we planning to put anything about how to register to absentee vote? Because I know it's a national thing, and we've been talking about it, like where I work at. So just wondering, do you guys expect any of that
It's
to
gonna
be a big deal?
We'll definitely have something in the Villager, Facebook, webpage. I mean, we try and get it out there as much as we can. Because, November's going to be intense.
Do they have to do that online, or can they come here?
No, they can come here.
Okay.
And do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I just heard a couple, I know online you have to take a picture of your ID and then send it, and I know a lot of people are a little bit weirded out by
So we
that,
have a few
the
of that where
privacy
we take
issue.
care of them here, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to report on, like fire EMS or library?
I
or-
don't have anything.
Okay.
Well, besides, I'll just mention the library is open by appointment now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you. All right, moving down to consent agenda, approve the minutes of the following village board meeting from June 15th, and approve invoices and authorize checks to be drawn on the respective funds as indicated. General fund, $17,349.99. Outdoor Rec Nor Foundy Fest, $454. Library fund, $42.45. EMS fund, $2,095.10. Water department, $11,483.06. Wastewater department, $265.43. Stormwater fund, $154.80, for a grand total of $31,844.83. And also approve the following operator license for Maria Van Loof for Dollar General. What is the board's pleasure?
I make a motion to to approve the consent agenda as read.
Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Got a motion by Price, a second by Horning to approve the consent agenda is read. Are there any questions or comments on this item? All right, seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Opposed? None. Moving down to administrative, discussion and updates on COVID-19 and village operations.
I don't have a lot to update there. I kind of gave an update about the building. I can continue to do that for, like I said, I think we'll continue that for quite some time. And as you see, maybe nationally and in the state, the numbers are creeping up a little bit, so we'll be cautious doing that. The community center, I kind of put out the July 6th date there a while ago. I think we're still going to continue with that for allowing rentals there, and we'll definitely be putting, giving information to our renters about, social distancing and being careful with that, so. That's what I have for that
All right.
at this point.
Thank you. All right, number 2, discussion and possible action on allowing 3 dogs to be licensed at 1813 Chapman Avenue. Everybody got the information in your packet. Is it Mr. Hettenhouse?
Yes.
Is here to, I'm assuming, to answer any questions, if anybody on the board has any questions regarding this item.
And maybe
So-
we received a letter, I copied that in your packet there. As you see, our ordinance does mention 3 pets, if approved by the village board. We have done this in the past. I did have Darren here tonight in case there was any questions, if he wants to talk a little bit about maybe any of the complaints you have had at the address and any concerns.
We really haven't had any issues at the residence. The fact that there was too many animals there came to light probably shortly before the letter was sent. I received an anonymous complaint that there were 4 dogs. An officer went over there to check on it, discovered that there were in fact. As far as this request goes, the officer told me that the homeowners had, there's a fence between them and the neighboring property. Those people also have dogs. And these homeowners had put up a second fence, a slat fence, to try to keep the dogs from seeing each other, to try to avoid issues with barking and that kind of stuff. They had made some efforts to help alleviate any issues that might have occurred. So I really don't have any concerns about the request.
Okay. John?
Question for Nick and other board member Chuck. Looking at, I read the ordinance, and it looks like a total of 3, and you mentioned total of 3, and it seems like this has been done in the past. Has any thought been given just to say a total of 3 pets for any combination, so then they come to you, you can just have 3 instead of having come for an exception? It
Yep.
seems like this has been granted.
We're working on that. We're looking around right now, because that's
Okay.
exactly the thought I had when this came across.
All right,
And-
thank you.
And it was originally, I can't remember, John, if you were on the board when that originally came up. We had a homeowner that had 3 dogs that were pretty big. I think they're pit bulls or rots. I can't remember, but she's let them run. And that's why we created that ordinance. And that person has since moved out of the village. And so we've seen this a couple of times and granted,
The other
you know.
rationale behind it was that there were several residents at the time who were breeding dogs and selling them out of their houses. And that's obviously not something that you want to have a ton of going on around, because you have 2 females and 1 male, there can be a lot of dogs, a lot of time, and they have like 6 months before they have to get rid of those puppies. And there were several homes that were doing that, and that's part of the reason the ordinance was written the way that it was to avoid those breeding issues.
So do you have any concern then with the possibility of just having any combination of the 3, 0, having 3 dogs? Because I think it's more of an enforcement thing than anything, and it's clear for your officers, it's clear for administration. When people come in, they're gonna say, okay, I have 3 dogs, or I have 2 dogs, 1 cat, I have 2 cats, or 3 cats and no dogs. So do you view it as a concern with having 3 dogs?
From the standpoint of breeding, yes.
Okay.
I mean, if people who want to have 3 dogs as pets, no, I don't see that as an issue. But I don't know how we would possibly regulate people that are just trying to have 3 house pets from the people who want to breed their dogs and sell them, because there is a ton of money in doing that. And so from that standpoint, again, that would be my primary concern. Breed 1 dog and it's out of commission for a while. You have a second one and it's a nonstop train of puppies. And That would be my concern. That was the concern when we did this. I don't remember how long ago that was, but that was one of the big issues that came to light and all of this was a big driving force behind all of this.
Okay, thank you.
Chuck?
I forget, does that third dog have to be registered now?
Yep, licensed. Yep.
Okay.
Anything else, Chuck? or-
Yes.
Okay. And, and according to our background that Nick prepared for us, his recommendation is to approve the 3 dogs, but only for the time until one of them passes or one of them moves out. So, just so that's understood. So, does anybody have any other questions or
Well, that could
comments?
change based upon if the ordinance is changed by the board.
Right, and like I said, we're
potentially.
doing some research on that, and we'll be talking about it at a staff meeting shortly, so maybe it won't happen, and
Okay.
maybe we want it to be this way, but we're looking into it.
Sounds good.
Yep.
If there's no other comments by the, or,
Just one
Darren.
quick comment. And if there would be an issue moving forward, dogs running loose all the time, barking, that kind of stuff, then we would have to bring this back and reconsider the approval, so.
okay.
But with the ones, I'm sorry, but with the ones that you've had, the exceptions that are granted, they have not been an issue? You haven't had that many complaints, or I don't know how many times the exception has been
I
granted?
can think of, yeah, there's been
I would say
few
probably-
exceptions. I mean,
I can remember 5 to 6 in my 19
Yeah.
years.
And I can remember off the top of my head, one that ended up being a real problem for us, and we had to go back and make different arrangements, but
I think,
for the
not,
most part, the people that come in and spend the time to make the request
Right.
I think
and
so.
are familiar with the ordinance, they're trying to abide by the rules. so.
I would agree, and we can have discussion further when that, if in fact that comes before the board. Thank you.
If there aren't any other comments by the board, Mr. Hanaus, did you want to say anything to the board, or? Okay. 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 All right, what is the, if there isn't any other discussion on this item, what is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make the motion that we grant the exception to the ordinance.
All right, can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion by Duffy and a second by Will to approve allowing the 3 dogs to be licensed at 1813 Chapman Avenue. Is there any other questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? None. All right, thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. You're good, yep.
All right, moving down to item number 3, discussion and possible action on the hiring of John Brody as crewman 3, utility for the Department of Public Works. I don't know if you or Darren want to take this, or?
Darren, you could talk about it?
Okay, with the retirement of Dave Goldowski, the board already approved the promotion of Steve Vine to the operator position. This would be backfilling that vacant position that Steve created. We went through an interview process. We had a couple of applicants for this position, and John Brody is the one that we thought would be the best fit for the position. He comes with a wide history, not so much just water utility type work, but chemical pumps, types of things that we see that we work with in the water utility. So my recommendation is to approve John Brody for this position.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Darren? All righty. Seeing none, what is the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the hiring of John Brody as crewman 3 utility.
Can I get a second, please?
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion by Chuck, second by Ann to approve the hiring of John Brody as crewman 3. Any further discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? None. All right, any communications?
Just one I would like to add.
John?
Go ahead.
For Nick, thank you for the crew for cutting the trees. As I'm getting my
Oh.
miles in around the village, there'll be other ones. I have them on my phone. They failed to send, but I have some more for
Oh, okay.
you. So as I walk, okay, I'll
Yep.
send them to you then. Yeah, it's nice. It
They had
just-
some free time when they got mowing done that 1 week, so they.
Yeah, I'll
got it done.
continue to do that as I walk around the village. Thank you for
We
that.
can't get everywhere, and we don't walk the streets so much, so.
I just had one, just to remind everyone that there is no meeting next Monday, or the 6th, I'm sorry, it is next Monday, July 6th.
Okay. All right,
The
thank
next
you.
meeting will be July 20th.
All righty. Any unfinished business? All right, any new business? I just want to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July, and please don't shoot off any fireworks and cause any fires.
Burn yourself.
Exactly. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, all right. You want a second?
I'll
that?
second that motion.
All right, got a motion by Will, second by Price to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it.